Hello, my little goodies. It's me, Barbara. I'm just letting you know we have 3 adorable, cute new All Good No Worries merch items, including this t-shirt that says reading is so cute and so smart. The shirt is so cute and so smart, and you will be so cute and so smart if you grab it, along with a Please Be Nice hoodie and also an All Good No Worries crew neck sweater. So go check it out, store.roosterteeth.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Always Open. We're so glad you're here. I am your host, Barbara Dunkelman. Today's a very special episode, my friends. We got 2 of our old timers back with us, starting with
Tyler Coe.
Tyler Coe is in the house, baby! Welcome back, Tyler. And of course, another very special guest.
It's me. It's good to see you again. It's nice to be back and sitting in this chair. I don't like that you call us old timers, though.
That's fair. That's fair.
Retired. What? AARP, RT.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Unemployed, getting that Medicaid, getting that Medicare.
Wow, could you imagine retiring at our age?
That'd be nice. I mean, God, I wish.
Yeah. We were just reminiscing about time and how we're all a little grayer, a little older, a little different, a little more mature, a little less mature.
Just a tiny bit.
Just a tiny. It looks good on you, though.
It does look good.
It's fine.
Yeah. No,
it
does look good.
Are you trying to convince us that or yourself?
Convince myself, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't, the older you get, you don't look in the mirror as much anymore. So when you do catch a glimpse, you're like, God damn it, what happened?
I find I'm looking in the mirror more just because I'm noticing.
Because you're vain?
Oh.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Obviously. But no, because I've been like just more aware of the things that are changing on my face now more than ever. Like, and I read something somewhere once that, which probably means I saw it on TikTok, of that, like, for women especially, around your like early mid 30s, like 33, 34, 35, you start to notice things more, and then it happens again at like 38, 39, 40.
Ooh.
And I'm just like, I'm preparing for those little peaks of noticing.
Oh, yeah, because I don't feel like I've gotten there yet. Like, I mean, I'm 31, turning 32 in February.
Oh my God.
When I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, oh, there's that giant zit. Where did that come from? As we can all tell. We can all see it. It's fine. I'm not self-conscious about it. I went to the dermatologist this morning and I said, why am I still getting acne at 31?
The microphone to me was perfectly covering it.
And then it just pop up. You're like, there it is. Jump scare. But yeah, I mean, I like that notion of just kind of noticing, like, oh, that's new. Mm-hmm. I pretend to think that I'm going to age gracefully. I'm aging gracefully.
It's weird, the perception, because you guys look exactly the same as when the day I met you.
You also look the exact same.
And that's what people say.
A little bit of a discoloration in the beard there.
Minus the oldness, yeah.
That's
the wartime trauma. COVID did a number on us all.
Yeah, dude.
We all have a story.
Yeah.
You ever heard the COVID skip that people are talking about? How it's like the 3-ish years that COVID was like really impactful during, it's like all a blur at this point. Like, it feels like, well, what happened? We were all at home, and then hybrid work started, and then like it just seems like a time skip almost.
Oh yeah, it's like a huge fast forward button.
Yeah,
like
3 years.
I was actually talking to a medical professional about this the other day, like 2 days ago actually, and there is some science to that. When you repeat the same path every single day when you're during COVID, and for some of us, 6 months, a year, longer than that, or for some people nothing changed, they just were on yacht parties all the time.
Sure.
But going that same pathway, doing the same routines, those memories meld because you're not making new ones. And it can mess with your brain. Like, it's kind of deja vu, which I'm sure we can all kind of, what it is, but we don't know how to.
You can't like
you can identify
it.
it, but you're like, what is happening right now? I think that's what that is, that COVID skip.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad that you guys are here with us. I've missed you, both of you. It's been a long time. Mariel, we had you on the show, a few months ago, which was an honor and privilege.
Very fun.
But there's been a lot of change since then.
There has been a lot of change. Things are happening in my life, and things are good.
Yeah. Are you comfortable talking about?
Maybe not right now, just because we're like figuring it out how all of those things go. But things. I don't think it's just things to come in the future that are super exciting.
Yeah, very exciting.
Yeah,
excited for you.
Thank you.
Mariel's living life.
I'm living life. I am embracing being an adult, I think, for the first time in my life, of like, I'm in a very happy, great relationship. We're married. We have a house. We're like figuring out the rest of our lives. And it's very like, it's a very fun place to be even though it feels so like domestic and just kind of like, I don't know what, I guess like a lot of people are like, oh yeah, that's just like the natural trajectory of how people go into adulthood and live their lives and whatnot. But at the same time, it's like, I never like saw myself being in this position. So it's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I love that. I love that for you. Tyler, what about you? How you been?
I've just been hanging around.
Yeah.
Hanging around.
Hanging around, doing my thing.
Just doing my thing, yeah.
Yeah, we've caught up a couple times over the years.
We have, yeah.
Yeah, you've been working on some fun, exciting things.
I have been, yeah. Yeah.
Taking some passions to some potential realities.
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to start the show with a little icebreaker question.
Ooh, I love an icebreaker.
Which you actually kind of touched on. And, whenever you're comfortable talking about, feel free. But the question is, what would surprise your younger self the most about where you are now in life? You mentioned you never saw yourself being in this position,
right?
This adult kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot of things like right now where, kid me or even like 18-year-old me would be very, very surprised. I think like the biggest thing, I mean, just growing up the way I did in like pretty conservative rural town and now living in Austin for, 14 years and like having a wife and like having like being like very out. I mean, not very out. I mean, I'm the, whatever, regular out. It's not like I'm throwing myself a pride parade every day I walk out of my life.
Hey, why not?
That's just a lot of work. Those things take a lot of time to put together. But like I think one of the things is just like the relationship that I have with my parents is completely shifted. And
how so?
I mean, when I first came out to my parents, it was like, I obviously I probably talked about this years ago, but like, like things weren't great. Like it was super tumultuous when I first came out. And then even then, like a few years later, it was still kind of rough. And like, even them meeting Hannah was like not great. And so there was like a lot of things I kind of like blame myself in terms of like, I never really forced the issue, but then like, was kind of like, well, my parents should be like more on board and blah, blah, blah. And so I feel like it wasn't like now we're at such a good place where like they adore Hannah. They love her. Like we spend so much time together with them. And it's just like,
love her.
I know she's incredible. Yeah. She really is. And so now it's just like I hope that like baby Mariel like could have seen a glimpse of this future that I'm living now currently and been like, oh shit, like that's really cool. I can't believe like that's the life I get to live because like I'm so close with my family. Like I have a great wife. Like I have a great career. Like everything's just like, everything's coming up, And
falling
it's just
into
like,
place.
It's falling into place and things are good. And it's just like settled. And like,
whereas like when you're younger, you like are thinking, oh, I want my life to always be exciting and doing these things.
Yeah.
And, like, crazy experiences. And it's like, that's, important to have moments in life that you could look back on and cherish and stuff like that. But I also don't think there's anything wrong with just being like settled and happy.
Yeah. And just the like calmness of that of like, and there's still like shit that we do that's probably, a little crazy, but like overall.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I can't talk about that here.
Why not?
A little bit of illegal,
Oh,
what you doing?
I don't know.
I mean, I came over one night.
That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, we invited Tyler
that you're
over.
still hanging out? Yeah.
We had a rager. We had a sleepover night where you guys invited me over to watch Encanto.
Oh yeah, yes.
I had never seen it before.
Oh my god.
It was
And
good.
that must have been an experience.
It was in
Rager.
more ways than one.
Okay, fine. We had a threesome.
I mean, I'm sure people have wanted it for years. They finally got their wish.
No, it's actually, can we actually talk about that night? Because it's like why you came over and why.
Yeah, we can talk about that. I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah, no, it's.
Because it wasn't anything illegal, actually.
Well, for you.
Oh my goodness.
true.
Well, okay, so Tyler was very, very sweet and he texted my wife, Hannah, and was like, hey, I have this like vape pen, and like the last time I smoked something, it was like not great, and you know, but I think it was like a CBD pen too. But basically, he was just like, I'm super anxious about it, but like I want to be in a safe space.
Yeah.
And Hannah was like, come on over. He had never seen Encanto, and so she was like, come on over. We'll put it on. We'll have a sleepover.
So
It'll be
sweet.
so cute. It'll be so sweet. So like the three of us were snuggled up on the couch. I'm
Oh.
high as balls on a real vape.
Yeah, I didn't.
Watching Encanto. This is the ASMR one now. And Tyler, I look over at Tyler and he was just like, I think it's hitting. And I was like, brother, it's a CBD vape. I don't know what you're feeling, but
Calm, very calm.
I did. I felt calm. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
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 I'm
But then
I'm
we were
proud of you.
disappointed because then you didn't actually spend the night. You were just like, oh no, I was just worried that I was going to like freak out or something. And then you went
I
home.
mean, both things can be true. Like, I did want to hang out,
That's true. You hung out.
but also like I didn't want to freak out. But
Yeah.
then I didn't freak out, so then I went home.
So you went home.
And you have you tried again since, or
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, just kind of yeah.
It
is one of those. It's for like back pain, which is
Yeah.
such an old man thing to say, but it really is.
I'm CBD is definitely used to treat that kind of stuff for sure.
Yeah.
For some reason, my brain went to him texting you and being like, "Hey, so I've never seen Encanto, and I really want." Like I thought
And
that's
I really, really
and I'm
want
too embarrassed to tell anyone.
Yeah. So, but he had never seen it, and
Yeah.
we had a lovely night. And at the end of it, he was like, "That is such a good movie," and I was like,
It was. It was a good movie.
I feel like Disney and Pixar movies are like the perfect movie to watch when you're in that state too,
"Yeah,
just because like it's not real.
And I like a super sad event in my Disney movies, which Encanto, I didn't really think much of getting into it, but then there's like a really sad scene, and you're like, it all ties together now.
heartbreaking."
The
Yeah,
heartbreak
Yeah.
ties the room together. And, you know, like Up, that specifically.
Yeah, but that hits you right at the beginning.
Get you good. That's good.
I can't even hear the music from Up without being sad.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I don't know. You appreciate feeling those things.
Yeah. Human
Yeah.
emotion
Yeah.
is
It's a good thing to
beautiful
have, yeah.
for sure. Well, what do you think your younger self would be surprised about based on who you are now as a person?
How like young? I imagine like kid,
Yeah, whatever
Like
I
kid
think
Tyler.
you imagine.
baby
yeah.
Tyler.
baby
Yeah, young
Tyler,
Tyler.
6, 7-year-old Tyler.
Yeah, or even teenage Tyler.
I know what he's saying.
What would teenage Tyler say?
I can't believe I can suck my own dick.
Wow. You know, I thought it's one of those things. The internet is forever, and you think you could move past that.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
you said it once; it has to be said again.
Which is, you know what?
It lives forever.
It's wild to think about. It's been about 10 years since I probably said that.
No way. No way.
No, because we only started doing Always Open in 2016.
And it would have been
Yeah.
2013. No, I was still in college.
I was like 26.
Oh, probably when you first did it. Yeah.
No. I'm talking about when I said it. It's almost been about 10. I'm 35 years old now.
Yeah, 34.
Yeah.
Yeah,
31.
we're getting up there. I was just talking to Tyler before about Always Open, about how like I looked back at some old episodes that we did way back in the day, and how like the conversations were about like sex and going on dates and like kinks and all this stuff, and now we're just like, my knees hurt. Yeah.
And I told you, like right now, I have a torn meniscus.
How'd you tear your meniscus?
I got a knee brace on right now.
Oh my God, you are old.
This is a depressing episode of this show.
Meniscus sounds like the name of a nerdy character in a sitcom.
Well, he's Minkus from
Minkus.
Boy Meets World. Was it Boy Meets World?
Never saw it.
The little kid with the glasses.
You think so? Okay. I'm seeing like, is this a nod? Yes.
Minkus. I think it was Minkus. But
What was it? Yeah, that's him. That was him. Is it Boy Meets World? Okay.
Minkus!
Boy Meets World. Okay, confirmed. We can now move on.
You
with the
tore
show.
your Minkus.
I'm gonna answer your question, but that may, I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah,
but
yeah, no
this
rush.
made me think of something the other day. Is that you know, during COVID, there was so many, and I know people are like, "Why are you talking about COVID?" It's like, man, I'm still in it. Some people are still in
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it still exists.
Oh, yeah.
It was a time for me to catch up on things. So I saw New Girl for the first time. I saw a lot of like movies I'd never seen before and other shows. And everybody keeps talking about Gossip Girl. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to dive into Gossip Girl.
I'm watching Gossip Girl right now.
So yeah, there you go. Everybody's watching. So I'm diving in this. This is a true story, by the way. So I'm diving into the first 3 episodes. And I'm like, when does this get good? I'm like, I don't get any of this. I'm like, it's the mom with the young girl. They live in this sleepy Vermont town.
Wait, no.
Hold on. And I'm talking to a friend of mine.
I think we all know where this is going.
I'm talking to a friend of mine. I'm like, I'm watching Gossip Girl. It's just boring as all get out. And I'm explaining it to her. She's like, you're watching Gilmore Girls.
talking, I was like, okay, I guess like they have moms.
And that made and my friend who's a female, she's like, you will not like that show.
No, that's
You
not
won't
for
relate to
you,
it.
I don't
like
think.
Melissa McCarthy, she's the she's
Like
in
a
the kitchen,
chef
she's
or
quirky,
something.
she's
Yep.
and I'm like, this show sucks. And I'm like, I don't know why people are raving about Gossip Girl. And I'm sure to the Gilmore Girl fans out there, I apologize, but like obviously it's
I
not
think
my
a
speed.
different vibe than what
It's not my
you
speed.
would like.
I will tell you though, I did watch Virgin River, all like 5 seasons of it.
It's Virgin River.
I haven't heard that one.
It ain't good.
Is it like bad good? Like
It's about a woman who leaves LA, leaves the big city because she left her husband, but mysterious circumstances. You don't really know what's going on there, but goes to the woods and she meets this guy named Jack. He's a total woodsman.
it's always Jack.
But Jack, he runs a bar. He was a Marine,
Yeah.
He's running
He's
the bar.
damaged.
He's running the bar. Other Marines do too, but they're like really nice. They're not like, Jan 6 people. And there's a romance there that blossoms over the course of 5 seasons. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a slow burn kind of thing.
I don't know. I passively watched, but I watched all of it. One of those where you passively watch everything.
But you don't know what happens.
Yeah.
Like you
It's
couldn't.
just on. Mm-hmm. Well, have you watched Gossip Girl then?
No.
Damn, I was really hoping the end of the story would be like,
No,
and I
sorry.
finished Gossip.
I'm done with girls. Like I don't.
Oh, okay.
I'm done with
anything with girls
The
in
Gilmore, the guy. I can't right now.
The Gilmore Girls, the Gilmore Guys, the
It's a podcast.
Gilmore Guys.
Yeah, it's a podcast. And it's 2 friends, and they watch every episode of Gilmore Girls.
Interesting. Yeah, there's a podcast.
There
for
is a
everything.
podcast for everyone.
The mother in the show is more of a friend instead of a mother.
How much of Gilmore Girls did you watch?
I said three episodes.
Oh, just 3
Yeah.
I
episodes.
probably
Oh,
watched
okay.
like 6 or 7, but
Yeah,
like
I mean, because you're
hey,
like, when does this get good? And
I watched
Where's the
season. I
drama?
watched season 1.
Yeah.
I
It's-
finished the series.
Yeah, it's just it's a
Gilmore Girls is my wife's like one of her comfort shows. Like
Yeah.
it's like especially when it like fall, it starts getting a little colder. She's like, oh my god, I want to go to Stars Hollow or whatever the fuck it's called. And I did not watch it growing up, and I have no like connection to it, so I find it very boring too. And they also just talk so fast.
yeah. It was hard to.
Yeah.
It couldn't relate.
So I can't. You have to like be paying attention, but also kind of not paying attention. I don't know.
Which reminds me of something. This is a complete tangent, but we were talking about Disney movies, Pixar movies, and talking fast. But it made me think of the fact that every Disney princess in the last like 4 or 5 big Disney movies all have the exact same fucking personality. It's Anna from Tangled. It's Rapunzel. It's Moana. It's the new girl in this new movie, Wish. It's the like, oh no, you don't have to, like, oh, it's okay, like very quirky, talk fasting, like awkward girl. And it's like they're all giving them the same personality now. But there's that new Disney movie where it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's like I appreciate that they're trying to do more diversity in Disney, but also there's such thing as diversity of personality.
That's true. That's true.
And they're not doing a good job at it.
Ah, I never thought of that.
Yeah, like watch those back to back. It's the same
It's the same person.
The same
Just
person.
dropping them in different situations.
different bodies.
I haven't seen that, just Encanto.
Yeah, it's the only one he's seen.
The only Disney.
It's the only Disney movie I've seen. Love that old school Disney.
Yeah, 100%.
Sorry, I derailed.
No, you're
to
totally fine.
Surprise my younger self.
Yeah, that you watched 5 episodes of Gossip Girl or Gilmore Girls.
I think younger me would find this to be very surprising that I would say, like, if I'm addressing young 6-year-old, 7-year-old Tyler, I'd be like, hey, man, you know how one of your favorite shows is Knight Rider with David Hasselhoff? And he has a black sports car named Kit that you can talk to. And it's got gadgets inside and a touchscreen. I'd be like, you own one of those cars now.
Oh.
Wow.
You got a black sports car base model that that you can talk to, and that you got a touchscreen.
Okay.
And I think that would blow his mind to know that that's all I'd want to tell him.
I love how like your answer was really deep about like you know how your family dynamics have changed, all this stuff, and you're like car.
What do you want me to? You want me to talk to him about 9/11? What do you want to? Hey, that's going on. Let me tell you about COVID. Or like, I don't think Israel and Palestine would blow his hair back because he's like, yeah, that's going on in my time too. Be
Yeah,
like, well,
that's true.
this never
That's
ends.
Very true.
Do you think little you would be surprised that current you / past you let me drive that car only once? Do you think was little you a misogynist?
Ooh, good question.
I wasn't a misogynist, but I was sexist. Maybe they would. I mean, those go
Probably
hand in hand.
hand,
You know,
yeah.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
you
So
know.
little you would have been like,
Like
ain't no
V-
girls touching my Knight Rider car.
Yeah, exactly. You got a cold, you got a fever, it's same shit.
Yeah. And then
Because I do, yeah. Well, to give you a level of what it wasn't bad. It was mild, but like
it was mild sexist.
Yeah, place us into this.
it was mild. I had bought my mother something at the Scholastic Book Fair. I don't know if any of you guys know what that
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. We're all millennials, we know.
Oh, to the general audience.
General audience. Y'all.
I like to make it feel inclusive, right? Like
it's
y'all,
really good.
work
It's
on
really sweet.
inclusivity. Bought mom a gift, and I didn't know how to wrap it, and I didn't think that men knew how to wrap gifts. So I asked my mom to wrap her own gift because I didn't think my dad could do that. So that's the level of misogyny.
That's where you are.
That's where I was at when I was a young kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you were probably like, oh, girls shouldn't drive cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So yeah.
That's a silly
At least not
concept.
cool sports cars.
At least not. He did let me
Minivans,
drive
though.
it once.
Minivans,
so we'll
small
see.
cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all ours.
Yeah.
Bikes. Yeah.
Oh, bikes. Okay. Makes sense.
I like that. I like that. Your car is cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Base model.
All right, well, let's get into some questions that our wonderful viewers have submitted for us. And if you have a question for the show, you could email those to alwaysopen@roosterteeth.com. We would love to hear from you. All right, Mariel and Tyler.
All right.
First question. I am 29 and started going to therapy in COVID. I found it really helpful to talk about my mental health and inner struggle. It was nice to be heard, validated, and advised. What I really struggled with was taking any meaningful action or change. I had a hard time putting the exercises, advice, and tips into practice outside of the therapy sessions. I started a new job about a year and a half ago, and it's a much bigger commute to therapy, so therapy has been harder. I guess I want to know what advice you have for someone who wants to change, has started therapy, but cannot follow through with making the necessary changes to improve. Have any of you struggled with that? What helped? Any tips are much appreciated. Therapy.
Therapy. What an interesting question.
Well, you both have experience with therapy.
Oh yeah. Currently
Currently in.
in. Yeah, and it's great. It's amazing.
I guess, like, what are some common tips or exercises you even get during therapy? I don't have as much experience.
Yeah, that's like an interesting one because I feel like I feel like different therapists obviously practice in very different ways and like there's a thing that my therapist does with me that I've like been resistant to because I feel like it's kind of like very woo-woo and like just like I'm just like let's just talk. Like I just want to talk and but then she has me like we'll do imagery work if I like say that I'm like feeling anxious or something and like if something happened like the other day I had like kind of a scare and so we talked about it and I was like I just feel like I have this like pain in my chest from it
wow.
like this like leftover like I know everything's fine, I know everything's good, everyone's safe, but like I just feel like this weight
Like
still
it hasn't released.
yeah. And so she was like, okay, well, like, let's like talk about that. And like, what does it feel like? What does it look like? Like, if you could pick it up, like, what would it, just basically trying to like bring it to like life. And then, she was essentially like, okay, like if you, basically what I told her was like, oh, it feels like I have a, what are those, the fucking Olympic balls that they throw.
Oh. I know what you're talking about.
Spin and you shot put.
Shot put.
Yes.
Shot put.
I was like, I feel like I have a shot put ball on, and like that's basically like the image that we came up with, right? It
And
was like a
that's
shot put ball, and it
on
was just
your
like
chest.
sitting on my chest.
Like a heavy ball.
Yeah, just like a big old,
Like a bowling ball.
not a bowling ball. It was small,
Like
but it was
small but
heavy.
dense.
Yeah.
Small and
like
dense
a
and
small
heavy.
cannonball.
Small cannonball.
That's a good
much
one.
better than shot put.
There you go.
Thank you. And so she was like, okay, well then like think about like the opposite of that. Like what is the opposite? Like, and start thinking about like those kind of feelings of like, okay, like what does that look like to you? Like if you could picture it. And I was like, okay, well it feels like, I don't know, like super light and like it's not heavy at all. It's soft. And I was like, oh, it's a cotton ball to me. Like that's the opposite. And like just kind of doing that exercise and talking out loud, like I felt like a release of just kind of like, oh, okay, like this is like that was like the essentially like the release that I needed was like talking through like just kind of letting this go and like picturing what it looked like if it was not as bad and heavy and everything. So anyway, all of this to say is I feel like therapists can do a lot of things. Like I feel like my current therapist that I have, and I've been with her for about 2 years, is amazing. I love her so much. And I had a therapist that I had before that for like 8 months who I liked, but I always say that I felt like I was going and talking to like a school counselor. Mm-hmm. And it just wasn't that good of a fit because I wanted someone who was like closer to my age, like had more in common with me. My old therapist was like a little older, and just very much would kind of sit back and be like, okay. And like,
And you weren't like getting much.
Yeah. And I was just like, I need like a conversation here. But anyway, I've talked myself into circles that I don't really remember the question.
Well, just in terms of like taking the stuff you learn or practices or exercises in therapy and like putting that into practice in real life.
Yeah.
Which I think, it seems like an interesting question because I feel like maybe there's a different like expectation of what therapy is for you. Like maybe it is just helpful in the way where it's like you get to talk to someone about these things and they're listening and like understanding and maybe take you through exercises in person with them, like the one you mentioned, but doesn't necessarily require you to have to do anything by yourself. It's more just having that outlet to talk.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. It seems like they're just still maybe having struggles and want to know like how to take the stuff they learn in therapy into practice.
I would also wonder, I mean, I guess they didn't say this, but like, I'm in therapy because my wife and I had a traumatic event whenever we first got engaged. She got diagnosed with cancer. So I've been like dealing with all of the aftermath and fallout of that. But then also besides all of that, like I'm just an incredibly anxious person. And so it was like, how do I, like, that's what I was in therapy for, was to like learn how to be less anxious and learn how to like let go of this like huge weight that had been kind of fucking with me for so long and like affecting like my relationship with my wife, my relationship with my friends and everything. And so like I guess it's also kind of a thing of like, what are you in therapy for? And like what are you trying to gain out of that? Because if it's just like I don't think you always have to walk out of a therapy session being like, oh, I have a new tool that I'm going to like conquer the world with. It can just be that of just like, you have like a third neutral person who you can like bare your soul to really, who can like see patterns and help you like, be like, oh yeah, like I picked up this thing that you said a few sessions ago, and like,
or just to validate your feelings.
Yeah, validate your feelings. It's like super important to have like someone who is like, not a close friend or family member or a person you're in a relationship with, just kind of like be like, hey, like this is hard. Like this is hard. You don't have to be bottling everything in. But like, I don't know. This one stumped me.
What do you think, Tyler?
I think it's kind of nuanced. I agree with a lot of what you said. Like, I think, therapy is not supposed to save you. It's not going to cure you. Like, I think a lot of this, unfortunately, not to, maybe give a little bit of tough love, but you just got to do it. I think a lot of people fall into a couple of bad habits, and I was very guilty of this for a long time with my therapist, is I would treat her like a garbage dump. And what I mean by that is that I would go every week, and I started going 2 times a week for about a year and a half. I'd go on a Monday, dump off my problems. I wouldn't work on anything throughout the rest of the week. I'd come back, dump off my problems. I wouldn't work on anything, and you just repeat that.
I imagine it did not really help in the long run.
No, because eventually you just have to start doing the work. And I was guilty of that for a long time and finally broke through. And there's no it's not like, there's a clock against you on this. You can come to it when you're ready. But I've seen it a lot. I've seen it in group therapy as well, which is I've talked about before as being probably one of the best things for me or an individual like me. And again, kind of like what you said, not to go on too long of a tangent, but finding that therapist for you really has to be like dating. Like you have to find your person that you're going to be comfortable with. Otherwise, it does feel like a school counselor, and you can't do that.
I went through 3 different therapists, and I didn't
which is fine.
Really like any of them.
Yeah.
And I'm still on the hunt.
Fine.
No, it's so hard. I mean, it's my therapist, she's incredible, but she has like a 2-year wait list because like she's great, but she's also very like niche, like I wanted someone who was queer. I wanted someone who was like a person of color. Like I had like very specific needs, and like I was lucky that when I found her, she did not have a wait list, but now she does, and I could see why. But yeah, no, it's super important to find someone that you mesh with. But like,
not one size fit all, basically.
I'm glad you said that about the like coming in and dumping and like not doing anything in between, because I also don't feel like it has to be like, a huge like in between sessions that you're like, every day, like my therapist told me I have to do this. Like every day I'm going to set myself to do it. But like, like if you notice something that happens that like, comes up in therapy, like, and like one of the things for me is like when I'm super anxious, I kind of get like a little ragey.
Oh yeah.
Just like, like my anxiety kind of shows up as like,
it's like kind of fight or flight.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah. And it's very much flighty, or like when I'm like, I get like, when I'm panicky, I kind of get like, just like a little snippy and like a little rude, or whatever. Yeah. So it's been like a nice practice when I do feel myself getting anxious or feel myself coming to that, like kind of sitting with it and being like, okay, like what's going on? Like I'm not mad at anyone. Mm-hmm. Mostly I'm not mad at Hannah. Like I'm just feeling very anxious. So like what can I do within myself to like bring that down, or like focus that energy somewhere else so that I'm not like, being mad at someone for no reason, or like, taking my anger out when it's not really anger. It's just like a manifestation of my anxiety. So like, I do feel like there are like moments that you can take those kinds of things. But I guess, again, like not to be like, oh, well, I need to know your diagnosis, or need to know like, but like, I guess just speaking for myself, like that's the kind of thing that I've like taken from that.
And context is important for a question like this, for sure.
And also, I mean, again, you just got to do it.
When you say you got to do it, mm-hmm. could you get maybe like a more specific example? Like what would therapy for you, like they'd give you exercises to do at home? Would it be like physical exercise? Would it be mental exercise? Would it be like, things you would say to yourself? And
I think it's whatever is going to get you to that point, right? Because I think we all know the phrase, it's okay to not be okay. Mm-hmm. I like to add on a second sentence that it's not okay to stay that way. Again, you don't have to rush to it, but you are not going to get out of it unless you get out of it. And however you find that place is kind of the goal, right? And that's going to be different for everybody.
The idea of a therapist being able to solve your problems, or
it's not a thing. You're going to solve your own problems. Like she's going to help you. They are going to help you. Sorry. Thinking of mine.
The
therapist. But my therapist at the time, who I have a new one now because of different circumstances, which kind of plays into maybe this a little bit of, I mean, I tried everything. Like she sent me to AA, to inpatient care, equine therapy, group therapy, doing games. I mean, all these different, she'd send me poetry, but it was just the goal of like, what is going to work for Tyler, mm-hmm. right? Because it's not one size fit all. And it's not for this individual who sent in this question.
Absolutely.
But eventually I had to get to the point where it's like, oh, these are things that I can do and I practice. And it's like working out. It's like eating healthy. It's anything else. Like try and have that discipline to do that one thing. I think also, I see this a lot online, and I see this in my group therapy, and the people that I talk to is like, sometimes the best thing you can do for your mental health is not think about it at all, which is easier said than done. But sometimes don't work on yourself. Don't do the thing. No, I'm serious. Like sometimes like you have got to give yourself a break. Yeah. If you think about it, if you're working out, because when we're talking about mental health and physical health, we're still talking about health.
Yep. Yeah.
You can only do so many bench presses before you're going to kill yourself.
Speak for yourself.
Literally.
Yeah, no, for real, bro.
Like, it's okay to take a break and not be able to lift as heavy one day. Or just like, I'm not going to do this today. And I think that's totally fine.
I did read an article recently talking about how it's been proven that it actually is sometimes helpful to ignore bad thoughts. Like, a lot of people think like, oh, I know I need to think through this. I need to get like... be rational through it, but it's okay to just put those away and not think about it.
God, so much easier said than done.
100% easier said than done, especially for people with anxiety.
Yeah.
But yeah, I 100% agree. Something that has helped me with habits and things like this that I want to improve on is do things in the morning.
Oh God, yeah.
I hate waking up early. I'm not a morning person. I never have been. but I have found that I am able to accomplish so much more and feel so much better during the day if I wake up early and actually give myself time in the morning before I have to go to work, go to school, like whatever it is. And so maybe it's just like something you do after you brush your teeth. Like after I brush my teeth every day, I'm going to do a 5-minute, thing for my mental health.
Or whatever, insert therapy, like, tool here.
And it could just be something you like. Like I start my morning off with my breakfast and my coffee, and I watch 30 minutes of a movie or a TV show.
Gilmore Girls.
30 minutes of Gilmore Girls.
Yeah, every day. It doesn't. I'll just put something random on, so it's like, so I don't have to think about what is happening in the world when I step out the door, because we all know it's going to be pretty rough right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take a breather first thing in the morning.
And also, game changer. I know everyone says this. Don't look at your phone when you wake up.
Oh my God, yeah.
So
Unless
hard.
it's to turn off your alarm and to like, if you need to check anything that's like vital for the day that you need to look at right away. But don't start off your day by consuming someone else's life.
Yeah.
Essentially.
The doom scrolling is a problem we have.
It's bad.
Yeah.
I also wonder too if something that might help this individual is if they brought some type of notebook to the therapy session and like wrote down notes, wrote down things that their therapist was talking about or saying, that like if they want to just review it during the week or during the time you're not in therapy, maybe that's kind of like if you need a reminder for some things you talked about.
Yeah.
Even it's weird what things will stick. Like, do you know what name 5 is? You can also call it name 10, name 15.
No.
Dumb little games.
Oh,
I'm
is
filled
it
with
like
dumb little games?
Okay, I know what you're.
That can just kind of snap you into thinking, like, man, this life is
Well,
ridiculous, and I have some issues. I'm working on them right now. Like, it can put you in a better mood.
What's name 5? Oh,
Let's see if the camera ops are on it right now. I want you, Mariel and Barbara, I want you to name me 3 red things on this set.
Barbara.
My sweater.
Barbara, that's one.
Can a
Got
Coke
can
Zero.
of Coke, maybe something over here. What we got behind us? Let's look behind,
The brick. Some red brick.
Brick works. Yeah. What
brownish
else?
red.
What else we
You
got?
said 3. That's it.
I know, but there's more things. But
No.
you can always keep going.
Juan's shirt. I know he's not on set.
We got a red shirt.
We got
over
a
there,
Scrabble
red
board
line.
game down here.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden,
All of a sudden.
I've forgotten what I was anxious about.
Exactly.
All the red things in the world.
And so, there's tons of little and just silly things that you can do. Like, I think one of the, what I'm working in right now, without getting too detailed, is really writing what I know, which is being a little, and mental health.
And that's why we love you.
And I do think I think one thing that could help everybody, it certainly has helped me, is that a lot of times when we talk about mental health, and I'm not saying on this show, because I know your thoughts, it does not have to be so damn heavy. Mm-hmm. So many times I go to presentations or seminars, even ones that I'm speaking at or not, that the person talking up there, the video I see where, and I'm not trying to make light of suicide as somebody who's tried to do it, but like you'll have a video of somebody who's attempted suicide and they're standing up in the classroom like, my life is much better now. Music is my passion, and you can be this happy too. And it's like, guy, I understand if that's your experience. I'm not trying to make fun of you, but if you don't give people any damn hope with this thing, why are they going to want to get better?
Yeah.
If you think about some of the best professors you had or the people in your life, they don't talk to you in a monotone voice or bring you gloom and doom. It needs to be elevated. Like, it is okay to smile and have fun with these really heavy things.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of this, like this person, I used to do therapy like it's homework. Like, all right, I got to, what did she say? And like, I got to remember this and this and this and like, let it be fun.
Yeah.
Like it's all going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like,
And it's just like any habit that you want to try to make a more common thing. You just got to do it.
yeah. And you said, make it like, in the morning, give yourself a breather, right? And like, get off your phone, like have a little bit of fun, lighten it up a little bit. It's going to be okay.
I've also heard of this thing called habit stacking, where you stack something that might not be as easy or fun for you to do with something you enjoy. Mm-hmm. So for example, I hate working out. I hate running on my treadmill, like whatever it is. So I will allow myself to listen to my audiobook, but only if I'm on my treadmill. Mm. And so it's like this thing where it's like, okay, I'm looking forward to my next chapter. So I'll just hop on my treadmill so I could get the chapter going.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're working out.
Right.
So it's like pairing it with something that is maybe difficult to get going with something you like. So like, let's say I love having my breakfast and coffee. I'm going to pair my therapy work with my breakfast and coffee.
There you go. It's like burying the lead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think another thing is like they mentioned like having to their like commute to work is longer now. Like you have every right to like ask for accommodations with your therapist too, to be like, maybe you need to switch times, or maybe like you've been doing in-person visits, but like maybe you should switch to telehealth for a little bit. Like, you know, I always like, therapy is your time and you're paying for that, and you should be able to like be like, hey, I'm not getting as much out of this right now because of XYZ. Like, is there something else we can do timing wise or like day wise or something to kind of accommodate this more so that I like can have this more focused instead of it being like just something that I do and like on my, you know, weekly to-do list. I think that's super important.
Absolutely. Well, great question. And I'm sure it's something that a lot of people who go to therapy struggle with. But I think we could all agree that like congratulating you for taking that step at all, because a lot of people don't or don't know where to begin. So I think you should be really proud of yourself for even seeking help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because all of us are struggling with that every day.
Every day.
Therapy
Putting in
rocks.
the like, even if you've made made a lot of progress and you've been going at it a long time, like a lot of us have. I screw up on all this stuff all the time, and I got to remember to do it.
Yep.
Give yourself a break.
It's officially time to kickstart your holiday shopping, which is always fun and, let's be honest, a little stressful. I mean, finding something that your loved ones are actually going to use can feel like a daunting task, but luckily, Uncommon Goods is here to make your holiday shopping stress-free by scouring the globe for the most remarkable and truly unique gifts for everyone on your list. From art and jewelry to kitchen, home, and bar, Uncommon Goods has products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the US. They seriously have the most meaningful, out-of-the-ordinary gifts you can find. They even have uncommon experiences like tarot card readings, romantic map making, cooking and mixology classes, and more if you're looking for a new way to have fun and connect with your loved ones. I got some stuff from Uncommon Goods. I got a little Bluetooth speaker that's like a little lantern. It's really cute, really cozy. It kind of gives like a little flame effect. And this little mushroom light. I really like little lights. And they have a ton to choose from. Plus, with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $2.5 million to date. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/alwaysopen. That's uncommongoods.com/alwaysopen for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary. Websites nowadays are full of third-party trackers that analyze your traffic to find out what you do online. The truth is that what you do online is your business. And that's why picking a VPN that will keep your browsing private is crucial. Luckily, NordVPN is the fastest VPN on the market that defends you from everyday online cyber threats like malware and trackers before they can harm your devices. Essentially, NordVPN scrambles your internet data, like your IP address and online activity, to make sure that your data can't be deciphered, even if someone manages to get a hold of it. NordVPN has over 5,800 servers in 60 countries, and you can connect up to 6 devices with a single click to keep all of your devices safe when you're browsing the web. And unlike other VPNs on the market, NordVPN has a no logs policy, meaning they don't store your browsing data and sell it for profit. I've talked about NordVPN before as well. They are fantastic, and again, cannot stress how easy it is. I have it on all my devices. It's just a click and you're protected. So grab the exclusive NordVPN deal, nordvpn.com/alwaysopen, and get extra subscription time. Try it risk-free now with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring our show. I wonder if we have time. The next question is a little long, so we might skip it for this time. But instead of this question, I actually want to ask you guys a hypothetical.
Oh, I love a hypothetical.
It's a hypothetical that I asked on a previous episode, and I love it. And I feel like you guys would have good answers for it.
Oh.
Have a good answer for it.
I'm trying. I'll try.
No pressure.
I'll try.
If you could be reincarnated into any animal
Oh, I got this.
after you die,
100%.
what would you choose?
Yep. I'm ready. I was literally just having this conversation the other day. I would choose one of the Queen's corgis. Hands down, the best life in the world. You're beloved. The whole world loves you. You are part of the royal family, but you shoulder none of the problematic
Or pressure.
or anything that bullshit that comes with being a royal. You're a corgi, so you're cute. You got a cute butt. You probably have a great diet. You probably get to like go hunting and like, you know, I don't know. I'm sure those dogs go like duck hunting or like something fun. They have a great house. They probably sleep in the best place. And then, you know, God rest your soul, she died, but like those dogs are probably still around and still, I don't know, I haven't seen them.
Still kicking.
Still kicking.
Yeah.
You know, but like what a lap of luxury.
Got to hang out with Charles now.
But there's so many of them though. Like I don't know how many.
Yeah, your friends.
Yeah.
What, royals?
No, dogs.
Oh,
She had
There's also quite a few royals.
she had a good number. Either that, okay, I would say either that or I don't know. I would not be like, oh, it'd be a falcon so I could fly. I'm like, no, I want to like sit and be fat and like enjoy my life.
Hell
and
yeah.
do nothing else.
And be pampered all day.
Yes, be pampered. Queen's corgi or be one of Taylor Swift's cats.
Ooh. I'm
Living
surprised
in
that
a
wasn't
lap of
your
luxury.
first.
Yeah, but I like the idea of, well, I feel like there's a lot in common with those. You're like adored by millions. You don't have to deal, like, you know, the people who love you. You don't have to deal with the bullshit of like the people who don't like you or whatever. I still think I would go Queen's corgi though, because it's like you're actually royalty for doing nothing.
Exactly.
Just
For
being born a dog.
Adorable corgi.
So
yeah.
there's my answer.
Excellent answer.
Taylor Swift's
Top
cat.
tier.
Taylor Swift's cat. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that your answer?
Nah.
No. What do you think you choose?
I'm okay. I don't need to stay at the Swift house.
Yeah.
Which one? There's so many.
Well, I mean, I go over to her house, you know, if I'm Taylor Swift's cat, you know, there's a new dude coming in every 2 months.
That's
I'm
not
getting
true.
confused. Who's my daddy? And there's a new one. And
No, they know.
this one's
She just
big
has.
and tall.
Anyway,
He
just
plays
answer the fucking
football and
question.
stuff like that.
Just
you
answer
know?
the fucking question.
Careful, the Swifties are going to come after you.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I got nothing, Swifties. I got nothing for you. What animal?
What animal would you
the dog.
reincarnate?
I do feel like I want to live in a happy way, a very solitary life.
Okay.
In moving forward, so a bear would fit that
Ooh, okay.
as something because people leave you alone for the
Yeah,
most
You
part.
do, and you don't typically see like a pack of bears,
No, you don't.
other than maybe like a mom and their cubs.
Right,
Right.
but you know, I can't carry.
Unless you got reincarnated into a female bear.
That's
Yeah,
true.
and I do love going half cocked on somebody every once in a while. So you get the occasional stranger walking into the woods, and you're like, look at this
this guy.
asshole. What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm going to teach you a lesson,
Yeah, just stand up.
and you're not going to come back here anymore.
Yeah.
I like that answer.
So something along those lines. You know, not a polar bear.
Specifically not a polar bear.
So I will
Because you
tell
don't
you,
like the cold.
I do have a fascination with this is bad. So a lot of it, if you're young, you really miss the train on early internet, and a lot of it. There's this website called LiveLeak.
Oh, God.
Yeah, man.
I remember LiveLeak, unfortunately.
Yeah.
It's still around, right?
I think it is, but it's not like no, it's not at all.
No, it got shut down sadly.
Okay, sadly.
Because one night I was feeling the hankering. Everybody has that morbid thing, you know, and you're going to make fun of me, but you guys watch murder porn all the time.
Until they could be prepared.
I like watching people get mauled by bears.
It's fun.
All right. And so that's why you want to be a bear, so you could be on a LiveLeak
Not
video.
because I have a murderous rage of a bear to kill human beings, but they're like so gruesome and fascinating.
Yeah.
And probably the most terrifying bear on the planet is not a grizzly, it is not a polar bear, and bear mauling enthusiasts,
Can I guess?
you can.
Is it the sun bear?
It's
They're so fucking ugly.
Those are like weird,
it's not
bears.
it's sloth bear, but the Indian bear that terrorizes villages, which the villagers terrorize them. Let's be real, it's their
I
property.
thought you were going
but-
to say panda bear.
No.
sloth
Sloth
bear.
bears, watcher beware. If you go Google one of those things, an attack video, they specifically go after. We veered off. You're going to cut this anyways. We have veered off course here on Always Open.
That always happens.
Sloth bears specifically go for your face and rip your face off.
God.
They don't really mess with anything else. They want to get you there.
Where are they?
India.
Okay, I don't think I'm going to go
And
anywhere.
they attack
anytime soon.
villagers, and I've seen a lot of those videos, but I wouldn't.
God.
I don't want to. I'm not.
When you watch, these
like-
videos,
Just like
I
damn.
picture you. You know, you're hovered over your computer. It's like 3 a.m. You're just like, I just got to watch that sloth do it again. Are you rooting for the sloth bear?
No, I'm just like I just hope I'm never. It's a good reminder. You know, we go back to
You're learning from their mistakes.
Well, the person saying, "How do I implement any of these disciplines?" and from
That's how you've
therapy,
learned.
I don't go walking in the woods.
Yeah.
Not in
I don't
India.
go walking in the woods. I don't go to India and walk in the woods. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
But I wouldn't want to be that kind of violent bear.
What kind of bear would you want?
Just a regular
Like a little black
a
bear?
grizzly. Well, here's the thing: if it's black, you fight back. If it's brown, you hit the ground. As a rule with bears, like you can take
Oh.
on a black bear if you need to.
Are they smaller?
They're smaller. Black bears are smaller. Brown bear, you're not. No,
Not going to win.
no. And that's what I would
Noted.
be.
Hit the ground is in like your body's gonna hit the ground and you're gonna die,
No,
or
you-
like
no,
try to
you-
shield yourself.
You ball up on the ground, play dead.
I thought the thing was
that's-
like you're
yeah.
supposed to try to make yourself big.
You can. It depends on the situation, but that's usually like you're not fighting a brown bear.
No, I'm not fighting any bear personally.
No, you're not. If you needed to fight a black bear, you could fight a black bear, but not a
Those are all the
grizzly,
bench presses I do.
not a brown. So I would be one of those being like, nah,
nah, just
this
roar.
ain't happening, chief.
Someone who answered this question was one of my favorite answers. They said anteater. Because they're like, imagine if your favorite food was just running all over the place.
That's a good answer
It's
because
good.
yeah, it's like you're getting rid of everything that like people hate.
Yeah.
And you're just like
Ravenous for
I
it.
don't know if I really hate an ant. I kind of take umbrage with what you just said. I don't hate ants.
I mean, I don't love them. I don't want them in my house.
I think they're
a pet
fine.
anteater would be great.
I don't have a problem with spiders either. I have a couple
What about
spiders
mosquitoes?
that
Yeah, fuck
live where
mosquitoes.
I live, and I name them. They come in my room every
Wow.
night. Yeah,
Which
I
one's
name-
your favorite?
They're all Frank. I name all of them Frank.
Just
But
in case.
They're
Just in case.
massive wolf spiders, which they hurt when they bite you, but they're not going to kill you. Or
Do they
anything
bite
else.
you?
I've been bitten by wolves, not by
Probably
Frank
just sitting
though.
home watching these bear videos getting bit by a spider.
Spider.
I watch
Frank.
it, yeah, and it really is like at the 3 a.m. like bellies out, laptop is like, oh, check this. Guy.
Yo, Frank, come over here.
Check out this sloth bear.
They walk by my feet. There's good hunting where I'm at. There's lots of moonlight and a spider.
I missed you guys. Okay.
I lost a few.
You lost a few.
Lost,
The bites don't hurt.
Lost
They
of-
just,
lost few marbles.
Oh, because of the bites.
Yeah.
Over the years, I've been paying attention to the eating habits of spiders.
Yeah. What do they eat?
When the moon's out,
Wolf spiders.
it's easier. That's prime time because
when
you
they
can
hunt.
see
what's out there.
Because their eyes don't work that well in the day.
They have 8 eyes, Mariel.
Yeah, but I would imagine with 8 eyes, the daylight is the best time to hunt.
That's too much light.
It's too much light. Okay, that makes
Overwhelming.
sense.
Overstimulus.
Overstimulus, minkus.
Well, check us out in the afterlife.
Wait, what are you gonna fucking be?
Yeah.
I go back and forth. So my original answer was I was like, oh, cat would be nice because like you could be a bitch and no one cares.
Yeah, that's like your whole thing.
And again,
That's pretty
like
good.
being pampered
Yeah.
by people.
My cat bites me every day. And I feed her every day.
That cashew.
Chunky monkey.
Chunky monkey. But I was also like, well, tortoises live a long time.
Ooh, I don't want to live long.
But that's also like boring.
Yeah.
So I was actually thinking about it. I was like, I think it'd be cool to be a lion.
Ooh.
Because they're just like so badass and
Yeah.
cool, but also scary.
Yeah. Very revered. Very like appreciated.
And really respected by the locals. They don't really kill lions anymore. It's kind of
No.
like, hey,
Yeah.
you
And they're
know,
kind of
Love
lazy
me.
too.
Yeah.
Like
Exactly.
they're just like hanging out.
Yeah.
I saw a video of a lion the other day, just like rolling around in the dirt and just like
Yeah.
lying with like flies all over it. And I'm like, yeah, that's that's a lion.
That guy fucking gets it.
You don't want to be a turtle.
Nah,
No, probably not.
You'd be the one. You'd be, you'd be doing it out there, and
Yeah.
you get that one straw and take you down.
Oh yeah. The plastic straw.
just right up the nose.
Here you
Oh,
are, this
God.
reincarnated person, being like,
Guys,
damn.
this is how
Damn
I'm going.
humans, that's why you have paper straws.
and you try and avoid it, but you can't. And it just comes right, it's right in your nose, and it
No, I
takes you
don't.
down.
I don't think I'd want to be a turtle because I don't remember my dreams often. But anytime I do remember my dreams, it's always a scenario where I'm trying to do something and I can't do it fast enough. Like it feels like I'm going through like molasses when I'm trying to like accomplish this task. And I feel like if I was a turtle, that's how
That'd be
life
it.
would feel.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going slow. All right, friends.
This was fun.
This was very fun. It really felt wonderful catching up with you guys and seeing you and having you on the show.
Thanks for having us.
Everyone
Barbara.
misses you. Everyone loves you. It's I hope we could do it more often.
Yeah. Well, we'll just be at my house watching Encanto.
That's right. Yeah, me doing legal things.
Only legal.
Also me. Legal things.
Yes, we'll have to show you more Disney movies. Anytime you want. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here, and thank you guys for watching the show. If you like it, please subscribe. Also, check out all of our content on roosterteeth.com and sign up for a first membership because it supports everything we do and everything we make, and it means a lot to us. Wink. And Mariel and Tyler, lovely seeing you guys.
Always happy to be here.
Anything? I know y'all aren't really in the content game much anymore. Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to talk about?
I don't know. Go follow me on Instagram. Sometimes I post stories.
I haven't posted anything in like 4 years.
Well, just
I think I'm gonna get back into it. Okay. I think I'm gonna go back onto the Instagram. I feel like it's safe. Well, actually, never mind. It is not safe right now.
I discovered Reels.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
I only thought Instagram was for posting pictures.
Now
there is a wonderful world.
Reels is wonderful.
Of real fucked up Reels.
I don't want to know your algorithm.
No, you don't. He sends them to me.
Attacking video, but it's. I had no idea that was a thing on Instagram, so I'm like, now I get it why you guys are on your phones. You just send dumb shit to your friends.
Pretty much.
Are people still on the Instagram? Is that what people use?
That's
a lot?
like pretty much the thing. Only thing I really use anymore. Even I don't use it much anymore, but it's mostly just to post to my friends.
Yeah. Okay. Go. I'll post something on Instagram when this comes out.
I'll say, we'll have it in your lower third.
What's up?
I still got Twitter because Twitter for me is like Goodwill Hunting. One day I'm gonna show up at Twitter's front door. It ain't gonna be there anymore.
I don't think it is there anymore.
And I'm gonna smile and be like, "It's dead. It's finally dead."
I think it's on its way out.
Oh no,
I know we've been talking about it for a while. I think it's finally like
amen.
They got rid of close friends, like the circles, close circles.
Mm-hmm. Can I say one last thing?
Please.
It reminds me of something with Twitter. You know, I'll probably never be on camera again. This is the last time you're ever gonna see me.
No.
Hold on. I thought about tweeting this on Twitter, like when it was going to die the first time, right? And everybody was all excited. It was quite a night. But I wanted to reveal a secret here at Rooster Teeth about something that happened that never happened.
Oh.
I've never told this publicly. And I don't think you ever have either.
Is this where the podcast cuts out?
No. Mariel and I came up with a show once that was going to be called the Mariel Tyler Moore Show.
Oh. Wow.
I remember you guys talking about that.
That's a deep cut.
A deep cut. I figure, like, why not? Like, when are we ever going to be on this? You know, I'm not, you know. So you, I think, had come up with the name, and we were going to shoot like a thing where we were both going to be dressed up as Mary Tyler Moore, dancing and what. And
Mariel Tyler Moore.
I think the show is just going to be a show about nothing, basically.
Yeah, it was a bit that then we were like, maybe we could turn this into something.
But we pushed it, and we got a meeting for it. Like, they wanted to hear the pitch the day before. I shit you not, we were going to pitch. You remember this?
Oh, God.
The real Mary Tyler Moore died.
She died.
So
you guys killed her.
We killed her. Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Do you remember when we canceled the pitch?
Then
we were like,
well, we can't do this anymore.
In poor taste.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's been enough time now
to bring her back. Mariel Tyler Moore Show.
So that was going to be my tweet when Twitter was going to die. Is I wanted people to know that.
Yeah. Well. What could have been?
Could have been. Yeah, we ain't doing
What could still be?
What could still be?
Nah, I'm busy.
Well, thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you guys for watching again. Come check us out on roosterteeth.com for all the fun content. And we'll see you next week.